Vanessa Zamora here. We're at South by Southwest 2011. Joining me now is the lovely Miss Kate Black of KBJ Online. Kate just spoke with us last week at PugCon, and she spoke this morning. Tell us about your panel.
This morning I was speaking on outsourcing social media. That's also what I spoke on at PubCon, social media management. We're talking about the pros and cons of whether whether you should outsource your social media or whether the only solution is to hire somebody in-house. So it was a very heated debate this morning. We had Eric Schwartzman, who wrote the very first book on B2B social media, who was just laying down the law on his thoughts that you can't outsource. And we had a lot of people in the audience that disagreed, some that did, but it was a very heated debate. So it was a great panel. We got really good feedback.
So you work on the outskirts. You actually are hired to manage people's social media campaigns. So what was your argument for that?
Well, my main argument is this, and it was kind of fun because generally when I get into heated debate about whether or not you should outsource your social media, we generally come to terms by the end. There is that gray area. We do agree that if you have the budget to bring somebody in-house, that why not, But small business owners, Joe's coffee shop on the corner is not Starbucks. They don't have that budget. And here are all the messages that they're hearing in the marketing world is, you should be blogging, you should be on Twitter, you should be doing social media, but then we tell them that they have to do it themselves, and they're washing dishes and doing the payroll and making sure they can cover their rent and doing the scheduling and all of that. They don't have time for social media. So there is a place for outsourcing. If we're going to tell Joe's coffee shop with a very minimal budget that can't afford to hire somebody full-time to manage their social media, that they should have a Twitter account and be on Facebook and all of this stuff, we've got to also then empower people to be resources for them. And that's really, where I am about outsourcing social media.
Now, you offer a training program, correct?
Yes.
So is that something that businesses could look into to gain some knowledge in the area?
Yes. As a matter of fact, I have a training course. It's called Let's Get Social, where I train social media managers, because what I found is that part of the reason that people are so against outsourcing their social media is because there is a lack of credibility in the industry. There is a lack of training of the different folks that are touting themselves as social media experts. So for those businesses that do want to hire somebody, I have a course. It's called Let's Get Social, and it just trains social media managers on what are the essentials of an account that needs to get handled from day to day. It also really empowers people who have found themselves in a position where they know a lot about, just naturally people that spend a lot of time in social media kind of start to get a feel for how it goes, and so this gives them some training and some structure so that they can actually start a legitimate social media business.
So let's talk a little bit about South by. What are the hot trends you're hearing? Is there some buzzwords going around?
Oh, that's a good question. I haven't spent much time. That's kind of the meme of South by, right? Is that you don't spend actually a lot of time at the conference. One thing that's always a hot buzz trend is ROI. So there's been a lot of talk about how are we measuring ROI in social media. We're seeing a lot of consumer activity around consumer brand activity around social media and blogging and technology. So that is exciting this year because it's like, yes, it works. People are starting to really kind of figure that out now. So those are kind of the stuff that I'm seeing. But really, the biggest thing about South by for me anyway is networking, getting everybody that I generally need to talk to and connections all in one place. We just had a meeting with somebody who's in LA and somebody else is in New York City, and we're here in Austin, but we're all here together, so we're able to meet and connect and get some business done. So
this is Kate Black. Thanks so much for joining. I'm Vanessa Zamora. We are coming to you from South by Southwest 2011.